Cyber insurance. Every business needs it, but can every business get it? What are the main reasons a business could be denied cyber insurance? How long does it take to get? And in the event of a claim, how easy is it to get paid out? What's the best thing a business can do right now to help them protect themselves from a cyber attack and ensure they can get a cyber insurance policy in place? Find out all that and more in the upcoming video. Cyber attacks on businesses of all shapes and sizes are a daily occurrence. Whilst you can put layers of protection in place to help mitigate the risk of your business being hit, there's no silver bullet to completely eliminate the threat. And this is why cyber insurance exists. In the event the absolute worst happens, cyber insurance policies are there to cover the cost of the damage and the cost of getting your business back up and running. Sounds great, right? You fill out a quick application form with a few details on your business and get everything set up. And then you can put your feet up and relax, because if you have a breach, it's all taken care of. Well, not quite. Firstly, obtaining a cyber insurance policy is not quite as simple as getting, say, car or home insurance. According to cybersecurity vendor Delinea's 2023 State of Cyber Insurance Report, 28% of businesses with less than 250 employees who applied for cyber insurance were denied coverage. 67% of all businesses say it took 4 months or longer to obtain a policy. This is because cyber insurance providers are finally learning more about the claims they've been receiving, and the fact that the majority of those claims can actually be prevented once businesses start to understand the importance of good cyber hygiene. So what does good cyber hygiene look like for businesses? Well, it really looks like layering cyber protection. The more layers of protection a business has, the less likely it is they will get breached, and therefore the less likely there will be mass disruption, and the less likely the business will have to make a claim. Now, no one layer of cyber protection alone is good enough to prevent a breach. Think of layering cyber protection much like those slices of cheese with the holes in them. If you have one slice, you'll be able to see right through the holes, but the more layers you can place on top of each other, the more those holes become covered up. The problem is that many businesses don't understand this, or simply don't see it as important, and therefore are either denied coverage entirely through not having even the basic cybersecurity layers in place, or it takes them months to implement the layers the insurance policy requires, leaving them vulnerable to cyber attack and unable to make a claim until they do so. Think of a cyber insurance policy requiring certain security layers and protocols in place. In a similar way, a home insurance policy would require locks on your windows and your doors. So that briefly covers obtaining cyber insurance. What about making a claim if the worst should happen? Well, according to the same 2023 State of Cyber Insurance Report, a massive 79% of businesses have needed to place a claim with a cyber insurer. However, many claims are being denied for the following reasons. The first one we've already talked about in some level of detail, and that is a lack of security protocols, aka layers. As an example, maybe a business has managed to obtain a cyber insurance policy by having 5 layers of recognised protection in place. Let's say they have a perimeter firewall on their network, an anti-spam layer over their email system, an endpoint detection and response layer on each end-user laptop, web content filtering to block employees accessing any dodgy websites, and a secured VPN connection which is required for remote access. Some pretty standard layers all businesses should have in place. Let's say then this particular business became victim of a cyber attack. A cyber criminal was able to access the CFO's mailbox by cracking their weak password. That then allowed them to impersonate the CFO, send an email to one of the employees in the finance department asking them to make an urgent payment for 50k for an invoice they had attached to the email. And then the employee pays it. After all, a boss has just asked her to do it, right? Well, upon trying to make a claim for an attack like that, the first thing the insurance provider is going to ask is to see the business's password policy. And if there isn't one, then they're likely going to deny the claim right there and then. Another common reason for having a claim denied would be human error. An employee who can't tell the difference between a legitimate email asking them to set a new password on their email account and a phishing email asking them to set a new password on their email account is an extremely dangerous thing for a business. But here's the thing. I just said a user who can't tell the difference between a legitimate email asking them to change their password and a phishing email asking them to change their password. The reality is, legitimate emails asking for a password change just don't exist. So if you were just thinking, I wonder if I could tell the difference, then you're going to need some cybersecurity awareness training pretty quickly. Giving up credentials via email and other human errors are one of the main reasons a business would be denied in the event of a cyber insurance claim. Therefore, it's imperative that all businesses implement a strict user awareness training policy and get their employees up to speed on the latest threats, as they're often the last line of defence. A third reason a business may be denied a cyber insurance claim is through not reporting a breach or an attack to the insurance company before taking action to clean up the mess that it's left. Of course, cyber attacks can leave absolute devastation. They can leave a business unable to access their systems and their data, unable to pay their staff and suppliers, and in many instances unable to operate entirely. However, cyber attacks are often crime scenes, And with that in mind, evidence needs to be preserved so that both the insurance company and in many instances local and national crime authorities can piece together exactly what's happened. And if that evidence has been destroyed during the cleanup process, then that leaves the insurance company unable to determine how the attack occurred and whether it's a cause for a claim or not. Scary stuff. Businesses think they're covered if the worst should happen. However, there's a very fine line between a successful claim and a business ceasing to operate any longer. So what can businesses do to best equip them for, firstly, being able to obtain a cyber insurance policy, secondly, minimising the risk of a cyber attack, and thirdly, actually being able to make a successful claim in the event it all goes wrong? Well, the most important thing is to simply get the basics right. In the UK back in 2014, the government and the National Cybersecurity Centre backed a scheme called Cyber Essentials. Cyber Essentials is an inexpensive framework and certification available to all businesses, whatever their size, that will help protect their organisation against a whole range of the most common cyber attacks, simply by focusing on getting security to a basic level in 5 key areas: firewalls, secure configuration of systems, access control to those systems, malware protection, and patch management. Businesses can go to ncsc.gov.uk/cyber essentials and download the Cyber Essentials Readiness Toolkit in order to find out how ready they are to complete the Cyber Essentials certification. I'll pop the link in the description of this video. Alternatively, if you're part of a business in the UK and have found yourself glued to the screen watching this video so far, which is everyone I'd imagine, then our business, Defu IT Solutions, can help you achieve the certification and get you the basics in place so that you're less prone to cyber attack and can show your customers and suppliers that you take cybersecurity seriously. Businesses can also align themselves with another cyber framework that's more popular in the US called NIST, but that's another video entirely which we'll release at a later date, along with a deep dive into Cyber Essentials. If this video was helpful, insightful, or gave you something to think about, then please give it a like, and for more content like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And for help and advice with your IT infrastructure and cybersecurity, then please get in touch. The contact details are in the video description, and we will see you in the next video.